Hello and welcome everyone to this week's COT review. I'm Thomas from COTBase.com. Today we're going to have a look at the 43rd COT report of 2018. As you may see, we have sugar on top of our list when we are analyzing the largest changes in commercials positions. 23% change in commercials positions on a 52 weeks time range, of course. 22 in large speculators, unquestionably larger than average changes. We've been witnessing similar changes in the past few weeks now, of course, as you may see, without any reaction from the market. But if we jump to the 5 years chart, we should not be surprised because we had this bullish COT Extreme in the market, which of course ignited this rally, and since then prices are getting higher and higher. So of course we've moved away from those levels, but we're pretty far away from those really large bearish extremes that would be, of course, unquestionable signals for the rally to stop. So this can easily continue, although we may see a bit of a decline if this COT change signal takes its effect. Moving on to the Nasdaq market, we have a 23% change over there in commercials, 13 in large speculators. Not that unusual in of course indexes to see these changes. It is of course a bearish change signal, but if we jump to the 5 years chart, we can have a perspective about the market from the extreme point of view. We're still closer to bullish extremes, which of course at these price levels is a little bit surprising, but of course, as I've mentioned earlier, for example in my last review last week, we always should look at correlating in the indexes to see how those markets are doing from of course the COT report's perspective. Moving on to the gasoline market, we have a 21% change over there in commercial positions, bullish COT change signal, of course, suggesting there could be a bit of a rise early next week. Jumping to the 5 years chart, you can see that we are still closer to this bearish extreme, moving away a little bit, but of course there's still plenty of space left to reach bullish extremes. So let's just move on and have a look at large speculator COT Extreme, and let's open orange juice where we have this 176 report extreme in large speculators positions. Of course that can be seen over there, so it would mean roughly back from 2015. And of course the same extreme is visible in commercials as well. So this is of course a bullish COT extreme that suggests that orange juice has maybe a little bit more time left to go downwards, but eventually there should be a change in this trend. We should be seeing higher prices coming in the medium to long term in this market. Lumber is our next market with a 92 report extreme. Jumping to the 5 years chart, you can see this on a wider perspective. Again, we're talking about a bullish extreme, although compared to orange juice, we have a little bit more space to reach even greater extremes. On the other hand, if you look at the chart itself, then of course we haven't seen this extreme for quite some time, and judging by the dynamics of this market, there could be a nice change in the trend coming sometimes in the medium to long-term future. The last major extreme, of course, was this bearish one a couple of months ago. That was a wonderful signal. I remember analyzing it in one of my reviews, and I was telling you about this great opportunity to trade this market. Now, of course, since prices have declined, we are moving away from this bearish extreme, obviously getting closer and closer to bullish extreme levels. The last market for this review will be the euro, and jumping to the 5 years chart, here we go. You can see how extreme this market is. There is an 83 report extreme in large speculators, so it's large, relatively large, but of course if you look at this 5 years time horizon, then there's definitely more space for traders to get even more extreme about the market. So this trend could continue. We may see even lower prices in the euro coming in the next few weeks, month, because we had that bearish extreme, this trend changer If you look at the chart, of course, we had this nice bullish extreme. Then we had this bearish extreme, and well, we may need to wait a little bit more for the next extreme. Of course, that would be a bullish one for the market. So that was all for this review. If you would like to have a look at other COT charts, you may do so on our COT charts page. But if you would like to have a more detailed COT analysis, then of course the page that we're looking at is the one you should be using. You may add other important features to the table, like the long-term trend indicator, the volume and open interest scores, the COT index. Of course, you can look at all market categories, and of course all COT report types, as well as other data types. We normally analyze the futures only data, but there's of course the futures and options data as well. So thank you for your attention. I hope you enjoyed this review, and I hope to see you next week. Have a great weekend. Take care. Goodbye.